Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and thanks for watching my new video. Usually I don't do this part, with a bare face, but today I've kind of like a different kind of video for you. It's not really a tutorial, but more like an explanation about my favorite part of doing makeup, which is contouring. So today's video, I'm basically going to share some information about contouring. I'm not like a contour pro and I don't really want to call it mistakes. I am going to call them mistakes, but more like these are mistakes that I made from which I feel like they were mistakes because I don't really like how they looked on me. But if you don't consider them as mistakes, then you do you. So quick disclaimer. So you definitely do you. If you like something that I don't like, I mean, like, who am I to tell you not to do anything, right? We all know that contouring is not really something new, but since social media, it is brought to our attention. It is kind of like hyped up and it was new for me. So I was just like, whoa, am I getting a jawline? I'm getting cheekbones. I can just change the way my face looks. And it was just like magic for me. But looking back, I kind of wish I had known some things that I know now. I'm aware Kim Kardashian didn't invent contouring, but she kind of like hyped it up. If you look at her contour, I mean, her face shapes looks beautiful, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to contour in the same way that she does, because we simply have different face shapes. And I think you don't have to really transform yourself with contouring, but more like balancing everything out. And what works for you might not work for someone else, and the other way around. So I'm basically going to show you how I contour my face now and versus like how I contour my face, which I consider as, making mistakes. And I'm also going to explain why, because although I don't have like 3 models with different face shapes, that would be perfect. But you can kind of like rethink the contouring game, you know what I mean, and why we contour. So I'm only going to be focusing on contouring. I don't wear any makeup, and usually when I do my makeup, I put on foundation first and then I contour. So what I did was, after I put on my foundation, I just went heavy, very, very heavy with the contour, because that's kind of like what I saw. So what I did was I just took my contour and then I thought, oh, you know what, I saw this on Kim Kardashian, so I'm going to contour till about here. And the jawline, I was like, this is the jaw that I have to do. Obviously I'm exaggerating a little bit right now, but I just want to make a clear point. So this was the jawline, okay? And I also did the side of my forehead like that. And I also made my nose very, very small, like that. Something like this. And I kind of like confused my contour for bronzer as well. So what I did was I just blended everything until I felt like this looks bronze and sculpted enough. This is what I did. I'm going to tell you why I don't think this looks flattering. So first of all, the jawline, I was just, contouring my jawline because I felt like everyone's doing it, so I probably have to contour my jawline. I didn't even really look like where I put my product like specifically on my jawline. And then the contouring, like everything, I felt like everything is wrong with this contouring. First of all, when you look at my face, I have a lot of volume over here. So I don't really have to do this. This will look beautiful if you want to create a little bit more volume right here, if you want to create that lifting effect, because then you can bring your contour all the way to, the sides of your lips. Maybe you would think that it looks cute because it gives me, a lot of more cheeks. I personally don't like it. I also don't think it's necessary. Second thing that I don't like about this contouring is that it's very low and it makes my jaw look very short, especially because I didn't pay attention where to put the contouring of the jawline. So as you can see, my jawline is now very short. So if you have a shorter head, I would recommend not to put your contour very low because your jawline is going to be this much. And the contour is not really going to do anything for you. It just sits there. It's very obvious. It just looks unnatural because it doesn't do anything for your face. And as I said, your jawline is going to look way shorter. So instead, you can just start right here, and then depending on how much volume you have here, you can just stop at the half or bring it closer to your mouth. Same story when it comes to my forehead. I was just like, oh yeah, everyone's putting contour right there, so I have to do it as well. I don't really think it looks terrible, but I don't know if you can see it, but you see some white over here, and then you see the contouring. For some reason, it's not completely blended enough, especially right here. Like here, I have pretty much nothing, and then it gets darker right here. You can't really see it now, but I also didn't blend my contour into the hairline, which makes it look a little bit more like a mask, if you ask me, because it looks unnatural and you can see like a color difference. When it comes to my nose, I have no idea why I did that. Maybe because I had like rhinoplasty 2.5 years ago. I didn't like how my nose looked. And I thought by making it look smaller, it is going to look more flattering, more feminine. But I actually really didn't like how it looked. And still to this day, I really don't like to have a very small nose. I prefer a bit more of a wider nose. And I just brought it all the way till here. Even after rhinoplasty, I did that. And I don't know why, because this looks so unnatural and it looks like I had rhinoplasty, and I don't really want to accentuate that. I place my contour right here. And now what I do is I place my contour right here, and then I avoid this part because I don't want to accentuate this part because I think it looks small enough already. So on this side, I'm going to show you what I do now and what I really think looks way more flattering on me. First of all, I use way less product, but I'm going to use a little bit more so you can really see what the difference is. So what I like to do is I start kind of like at the middle of my ear, and I start high. I start pretty high, and if you look very closely, you can already see this line. Actually, it's still pretty low, but because I have a longer head, I prefer it a little bit more low. When it comes to my jawline, I like to be more specific where I place the contour. That would be right there. So I don't even want you to be able to see that I've contoured right here. You see how tight that looks? I have a pretty wide forehead. I have kind of like a heart-shaped face, and I really like to contour this whole part. And it looks heavy at the beginning, but I just prefer that. So what I like to do, and I like to do this before I do my brows, and you'll see why. This is also something that I like to do. It gives me that lifted effect and these elongated eyes. Then I like to contour right here. On this side, I just contoured my face like this. I didn't really pay attention to, you know, how it looked at the end. When it comes to my nose, I've been really starting to like my nose more throughout the years because you don't really see the end result immediately after rhinoplasty. If I could change one little thing, that would be that my nose looked a little bit longer, just because I have a long head. I think that would have looked more natural with my face. But what I like to do now, as I said, I like a bit more of a wider nose and a longer nose. So I do bring it down all the way. If you have a long nose already and you want to make it shorter, then you can just make this part darker. And to make my face look shorter, I'm also going to make my chin look a little bit shorter. And now I'm going to blend everything. Obviously without, you know, foundation and the rest of my makeup, it doesn't look really good, but this is just to show you guys some technique. I feel like this part right here makes me look like I weigh 20 pounds extra. And I also feel like it's hanging a little bit more. It's not really lifted, and nothing is really lifted on this side. It just looks like I just put bronzer on certain parts of my face. I don't think it looks blended. I feel like my jawline looks snatched without looking unnatural. And on this side, it's like she contoured her jawline. I feel like this side is way more lifted. I will give you guys a sec. I feel like this is kind of like a 2013 YouTube video, like an info tutorial, you know what I mean? I hope you guys find this video helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any tips or tricks for me, please let me know, because, you know, we never stop learning. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell. I'm going to do a huge giveaway when we hit the 200K. And you can also follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.